Okay, welcome to the deep dive.
Great to be here.
Today we're taking a focused look, drawing insights from a specific source.
Yes, we are.
Our topic is ammonium causticum, which is also known as hydrate of ammonia or, well, ammonia water.
That's right. And we're diving into excerpts from Homeopathic Materia Medica by William Boericke, MD.
Exactly. And maybe just quickly, for anyone not familiar, what exactly is a materia medica in this context?
Well, simply put, a Materia Medica like this one serves as a kind of guide. It lists various substances and details the specific symptoms and conditions they're associated with based on observed effects. It's used as a reference by practitioners following this specific approach.
Got it. A reference guide based on observed effects. In this text, Boericke's, it highlights right away that ammonium causticum is considered powerful.
It definitely uses that word, calls it a powerful cardiac stimulant.
So our mission today is really to unpack the key information this particular test presents about it and, its reported applications.
And it's interesting how the source immediately points to its role as like an emergency stimulant.
Yeah.
It specifies uses in situations like syncope, that's fainting, thrombosis, hemorrhage or bleeding, even snake bites, and chloroform narcosis.
Wow. Okay. So really critical situations.
Definitely. And the text points out that for these urgent needs, it may be given by inhalation.
That emphasis on inhalation is pretty noteworthy, isn't it? Suggests a really rapid route for those acute scenarios the text mentions.
Exactly. Speed would be a key there.
So moving beyond that kind of emergency stimulation use, does the source give clear signals for when else it might be indicated?
It does. It states that the edema, which is swelling, and the ulceration that it's noted to produce on mucous membranes are actually key guiding symptoms for its use.
Ah, okay, so the things it causes are the guide.
That seems to be the principle suggested right here in the text. The issues it's observed to produce, according to the source, point toward the issues it could potentially help treat. It's that like treats like idea based on its effects.
Right. And the text really seems to zero in on the respiratory system, describing some pretty specific and, well, intense symptoms.
Oh, absolutely. We read about difficult respiration, this accumulation of mucus that leads to just incessant coughing, and even loss of voice, which is called aphonia.
The descriptions really are vivid, aren't they? They paint a picture of real distress, like a burning rawness in the throat.
Yeah, and a spasm of the glottis that causes suffocation, where the patient is literally gasping for breath.
Gosh, that sounds severe.
It does. It also mentions pain in the esophagus. That's the esophagus, especially when breathing deeply,
Okay,
along with scraping and burning sensations there too.
so lots of burning.
A lot of burning, yes. The text notes the uvula might be covered with white mucus, and it even includes nasal diphtheria characterized by a burning, excoriating discharge. Very specific irritations.
So these specific, often extreme symptoms, the burning, the spasmodic stuff on the mucous membranes as described in the source, they really embody those produced effects that the text calls guiding symptoms.
Exactly. It seems to be the nature and the intensity of these symptoms that the text is emphasizing as the indicators for its use.
Okay. And looking beyond the head and throat area, does the source touch on other parts of the body, like the extremities?
It does, briefly. It mentions excessive exhaustion and muscular debility.
Ah, so a real sense of weakness.
Yes. Alongside that systemic exhaustion, it specifies rheumatism of the shoulders and also notes the skin as being hot and dry in these instances.
Okay. So what we're seeing is a substance presented on the one hand as this powerful acute stimulant,
Right, for emergencies.
but also linked to a picture of more deep-seated issues, particularly involving severe irritation, burning, spasming, and that profound exhaustion. That's all according to this text, of course.
And the source does give dosage information too. It says first to third potency, or 5 to 10 minims, well diluted with water.
Right, and that well-diluted part seems pretty important given the substance's nature.
Absolutely. The mention of potency and minims refers to the specific preparations or measurements in this system, but the key operational detail from the source, especially given it's called causticum, is definitely well diluted. It signals the intended form for use.
Okay, so let's try and bring this together then. Based purely on this Boericke text, ammonium causticum is portrayed as a powerful agent, primarily a cardiac stimulant for critical situations like fainting and hemorrhage, often given by inhalation.
Correct.
But it's also presented as potentially useful for a range of other conditions, especially those marked by, Well, intense burning and spasmodic symptoms in the respiratory tract, significant mucus, and that deep exhaustion.
And the source clearly indicates its use is guided by the specific, sometimes quite severe, effects it's noted to produce, particularly on those mucous membranes.
Okay, so a final thought maybe.
Well, what's kind of fascinating just reading this text is how it presents such a potent, even caustic substance, detailing these dramatic effects like burning, spasm, ulceration, and then suggests these very intense effects are actually the basis for applying it in similarly severe states. It really does raise an interesting question, doesn't it, just based on this reading, about the observation of a substance's power to produce specific strong effects being the core guide for when and how you might use it.
A powerful picture, definitely, presented in just these few paragraphs from Boericke's Materia Medica. Something to think about.
Indeed.
Well, thank you for joining us for this deep dive into ammonium causticum.